Just strap in and get ready.
The leaders in AFL SuperCoach are incoming, helping you win your leagues and climb up the rankings.
You're now listening to the Insight AFL Show with your hosts, Big Horse and Skitty.
Good morning and welcome to the Insight AFL Show. I'm your host, The Horse, and I went looking far and wide for a good bloke to join me when we're talking DPPs, and all I could find was this champ. It was deadly. How you doing?
Yeah, going good, Shagger. How are you?
Not too bad. The reason why I use champ, ladies and gentlemen, is because I was woken up to a champ text message this morning. Yep, he champed me, so he's going to cop it good and proper today. The live last week, we did one about 11:30 again in the morning, and a lot of people enjoyed it. We had a couple of hundred people on, and it was quite interactive. And we thought, fuck it, why don't we do it again? Because this week, mate, this is the week that determines who gets DPPs as soon as this round closes.
Yeah, it's the big one. This is what we're after this week. No more forward trades. We need to wait for forward DPPs. Yeah, plenty going on. We'll dive into it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you haven't yet, like, subscribe, bell. We call it being the triple banger. If you are a subscriber, hit that thumbs up as well. We'd love to get out into the SuperCoach world. But also, if you listen to us on audio, give us that 5-star review. Helps us get out into the algorithm that is AFL SuperCoach and into the ears of those that like a bit of banter along with their SuperCoach knowledge. Before we kick off with DPPs, mate, I'm going to give our league a shout out. 356460. I repeat, 356460. It is free to join, and this closes at the end of next round. We don't have a standard squeeze winner this week because do you know who won it?
No, don't even say his name. He doesn't deserve the credit.
He doesn't, does he? The man who gives out Cone of the Week every single week, Squiddy. He is high on his perch this week, and he's frothing to chat footy. So tomorrow night, he'll be back to give you all good SuperCoach knowledge. But he scored, what was it, 2,149? Oh, he don't rip a score last week.
Yeah, it was good, whatever it was. And yeah, but we won't give him too much more. His head's already probably through the roof after last week.
Yeah, I think so. And you're right, Ange. We thought, yeah, we normally come live at, or not come to you live at 7:30, 8 o'clock each evening. But there's people during their work days that are just grinding away at their desks out in the road, driving around. And we thought, fuck it. Let's get something out to those to try and help them get through the middle of the week in order to feel like footy's closer. So hopefully we'll continue to do this and also make it a fairly regular thing. But without further ado, mate, we're going to talk about the white good that is the first DPP candidate in our list of 40, and that's the fridge.
The fridge.
Joel Freesia. He's had a couple of shitters the last couple of weeks, hasn't he?
Yeah, it seems like he's got a complete role change to what he had to start the season, which was pretty well gold, to be honest, with the half back into some CBAs. But now it's a bit of a shitter CBA occasionally into a main wing role.
Unfortunately, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So even though for me, he's locked in. 46% midfield he's played, and he will get some more midfield time this week, especially with that likes of Treloar and Bontempelli not playing. I don't think he's one you want to target, though, is he?
No. He was one that was, an option 2 weeks ago, and even if you brought him in then, you're probably looking to sell now. It sucks, to be honest, because it wasn't a bad trade by any means. He had the role, and then it just got completely flipped on you, and it sucks.
Yeah, it does. It does, champ. Let's move on. This next player is someone that I'm actually pretty high on for a forward candidate. He had a bit of a shitter last week, but that's because he was a bit crook. And that's because Chad Warner, I think, could be very close to your F1 this year.
Yeah, 100%. If he gets DPP, which he's currently sitting at 36.8%, and the cutoff is 35, so he's scraping the knife's edge, as we like to say. So if he gets it, 100%, he's one that I'm going to want in my forward line pretty much as soon as possible, because he's a guy that can bust the game open straight away and go real big, real quick.
100%. Now, have you got his numbers there as to how close it actually is deadly with him getting DPP and why we would suggest not going early?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't go early because obviously you just had the sub-affected game, only scored a 50. Going to lose some more coin, which lovely for us.
Yeah. But also he's sitting at 36% forward. So for those that don't know, 35% is the cutoff as to where you get your DPP candidacy from. And if that drops below 35% for the first 6 rounds or first 5 rounds, or 6, because they played round 0, didn't they? Yeah. That means he won't get it and that he'll be a mid only. Is he going to be a top 8 midfielder? Probably not. But could he be a top 1, top 2, top 3 forward? I think so. Yeah. So if he gets that DPP, I think we need to seriously consider bringing Chad into our SuperCoach teams.
100%. Yeah, if he gets forward, he's one that I'm looking at straight away.
Yep, the bleached one for Scorched Earth, our friend that is in the live chat, live from New Zealand. Mate, next player, not really any relevancy here, but we're going to bring him up because we are going to bring up all 40 players who are due some DPP, and that's Jacob Malcolm Blight.
Yep.
For Classic?
No, but I think he's at 30% right now, and as we know, the cutoff's 35. But I reckon he gets that after this week. To be honest, he's had Uze came out during last week saying that he messed up by making Blight play as a key back and then do the second rucking. So now he's fully changed him to be a forward, and he can do the rucking there. So he gets a bit more of a rest up forward. I can't see that changing because they probably want him to second ruck behind Nank. He should get DPP.
Yeah. Next, mate, is someone that played a lot of forward line to start the year, but since Big Boyd has been playing in the twos, and mind you, has been playing pretty well in the twos, not really that relevant DPP-wise, and that's Rowan Marshall.
Yeah, no, forget about this one. He's not gonna get it. He's gonna stay ruck only.
Yeah.
He could be a ruck option later on if he keeps up his form, but right now he's not getting DPP, so we're not too worried anymore.
Yeah, gotcha. He's still relevant though for Classic though, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. He's still at least the top 5 ruck anyway. As one of the kids has interrupted.
Yes, yep, definitely. They're banging on the door, wanting some sandwiches. Sam Lawler, is next. And he had a couple of shitty weeks, but went bang last week with a ton. Can you talk to me a bit about Sammy Lawler while I sort out the kids?
No, he's looked real impressive to start this year, and number 1 pick. He's sort of come on a lot, considering his role. Switching between forward and mid, mainly forward. If you held him, fantastic. He's going to make you some more cash after this week, after his 112 against Brisbane. Would I be buying now? Definitely not. If you got him, you probably can swing him to forward next week and be happy about it and pick yourself up another decent either rookie mid or go up to a primo if you can from one of your dead end forwards.
Yeah, for sure. 71% forward, so he will get his DPP this week. Someone who will get DPP, but for me should be firmly locked in our sides anyway, is Jack McRae from the St Kilda Footy Club.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he's locked into mid DPP. He's at 99.5% mid. So I actually wonder where that extra 0.5s come from because I haven't seen him move out the midfield.
No.
He's going to stay in your forward line. The DPP is cool for swing purposes if you desperately need it, but you should have other guys that are forward mid anyway. So it's just another cool thing to add to Jack McRae's arrow.
Yeah. Here you go. Yeah, I can make you a sandwich too, mate. No worries. And IJ, orange juice for me, mate. Probably that 99.5% being spent in the midfield, and then that 0.5% is probably spent telling Kane Corns how he is much better midfielder than what Kane Corns ever was.
Yeah, that's a very fair call. Jeez, I can't believe Kane Corns said that still to this day.
Yeah,
I don't understand it.
Nah.
Anyway.
Right. Yeah. just had an uffy moment. Liam Duggan comes in next, 18.1% midfield. Unlikely that he's going to get DPP.
Yeah, no, he's not going to get it. He spent the first 2 games or so of this year as a winger, pretty much, with the mainly spending his time still down back. But yeah, had some wing time. Now he's just full on back. So no, he's not going to get DPP, and he's not an option.
No, he's not. Someone that might be a bit of an option that people have been keeping an eye on, probably more so in draft than classic, is Dylan Shield from the Essendon Footy Club. 74.4% defense, so it is very highly likely that he is going to get DPP, mid-defender. But for me, I'm not sure about you. You're an Essendon supporter as well. His disposal efficiency is something that really grinds my gears.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying, to be honest. We looked much better when he went into the midfield in that game against Port.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt in my mind that he's probably going to spend all of his time that he's on the ground as a midfielder this week, especially with the Jai Caldwell injury and players still to come back. And he's still going to get DPP for defense, but he's going to spend all of his time in the midfield.
Yeah, he is.
Is he top 6? Probably not, just because of how shocking his disposal efficiency is.
No, don't get DPP. Don't let it get in the way of a good story. And Dylan Shield is not going to be a good story for your Supercoach teams if you bring him in. So, from an Essendon supporter, steer clear. But someone that you may want to consider, if you don't already have him, is the Shees God, Harry Sheezel. So he's been playing a lot all over the place. So as it stands now, it will be mid DPP.
Yeah.
It will not be forward. So 29% forward versus almost 55% midfield. Clarko threw Sheezel back last week and then moved him up through the ground as the game went on and looked a lot like the Sheezel of old. If you don't have Sheezel with that DPP, that just adds another level to his value in Supercoach this year.
Yep, 100% it does. He's at a 111 break even. You can 100% bring him in this week if you have no one else around that price point that you're really interested in.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get mid DPP. Does he stay off halfback? Probably not. I don't think. I think this is probably just a 1 week or a couple of week play. Just to him get his hands on the ball, get his confidence back up, and get back into his old mid forward role.
Yeah. If you don't have him, buy him, because at 573k, this is probably as cheap as he's going to get all year. Yep. Christian Petracca's next, 42.6% forward. So he is looking likely to get the midfield DPP. I just don't like what Melbourne's doing. Usually you'd say Petracca under 500k, DPP forward, sign me up. But I'm not sure I like what's going on down there, mate.
Yeah, but I do think they will turn things around. Maybe not, get back up to top 8 or the Melbourne of old that we know. But, they can definitely win some games, swing some around. And this guy's probably the main cog in that, turnaround that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. He's going to get DPP. He just needs, 25% time forward this week.
Yeah,
he'll get that. I reckon he'll comfortably get that. And if he keeps dropping coin, he could be 450k before we know it. And
he's got
a 450k forward DPP Petracca. Just on pedigree alone, you're probably going to have to take him.
Yep, he's got Essendon this week in Adelaide, then Freo at the G. So whether you're waiting until he plays Freo at the G or Richmond after that at the G to pounce, it could be 470, 460k by the time that rolls around.
Yeah,
I'd say he'd probably be in the top 5 relevant DPP players that, if he gains it, will get the DPP.
Yeah, 100%. A 460k Petracca going into Richmond and West Coast back-to-back. Sign me up.
Yeah. Next player on our list, mate, is Finn O'Sullivan from the North Melbourne Footy Club. I'm going to cut it. He's got 100% defence, but Supercoach just does not like him.
Nope. And, he's going to get defensive DPP, obviously, with 100%. If you had him, you probably already sold him last week because he missed last week with an injury, or not an injury, illness.
Yeah. And
he scored to start the season 51, 42, and 44. And I feel like he's played better than that in every single game.
I think he has.
Which annoying.
It's not disposal efficiency though, is it? What is it?
I don't know whether it's just scaling or whatever circumstances there is. It's bloody annoying. And if you started with him, I feel like you've got a bit unlucky the fact that he's only made 8K.
Mhm.
But you're not bringing him in. The DPP is cool. He's not an option until, I don't know, something happens and he gets a role change. Probably not.
No. Willie Rioli's next, mate. No.
Yeah, we can move on with this one. He's not going to get DPP. He spent one game in the midfield, had 24% CBAs, and that was about it. And
I think he scored 24 last week as well.
Yeah, move on. Don't even pick him in draft, even if it's like a 20-man deep league. I wouldn't even take him.
Yeah. Will Ashcroft, though, is the next one that is relevant. Unlikely to get 4 DPP, but he has popped off the last couple of weeks, rewarding those that held on to him. Oh, fuck. He would be top 1, top 2 if he was a forward midfielder with the form that he's in at the moment, but unlikely. But he's still looking at him in Classic.
I'm going to say no, and it's just due to the fact that he's gone West Coast, Geelong, and Richmond, all 3 in a row, who are currently, as it stands, the worst mid-defending teams in the league, all 3 of them. So I can see a slight drop-off coming. He's looked phenomenal. Him and his brother are linking up real well. He's not going to get DPP because he's going to spend all of his time in the midfield this week, you'd assume, just because of how good he's playing there. It's annoying, but I probably wouldn't take a stab at him at mid. He's not top 8.
No. Unfortunate. Because he's a bloody...
If you held, congratulations.
If you held, congratulations. You've got a nice stepping stone into a primo later in the year.
Yeah, 100%.
James Peatling is one that's probably come to a bit of relevancy, I guess, over the past couple of weeks with a couple of nice scores. But yeah, you've just got to see what Matt Crouch is doing. He will get DPP because he's at almost 55% forward time. If you've got him, you're holding him. But if you don't have him, you're not looking to bring him in, are you?
Nah, probably not. Unless, the Crouch potato just gets fully kicked out, which is very unlikely.
Fingers crossed. He does have a break even of 6, though.
Yeah, it's one of the lower ones, especially at that price. It's probably the lowest. It's good. He's probably just going to spend more of his time back forward once the Crouch potato's back in. And that role that we saw last week, he was in absolutely everything against Gold Coast, wasn't he? He did a bit of tagging. He kicked a goal. He was dominant in the CBAs when he was in there, and he looked phenomenal. But that role is probably not going to happen.
This is the role that we thought he'd have when he crossed from GWS late last year.
Yeah, I was really high on him, but it hasn't come to fruition, unfortunately.
How does his name get brought up in a DPP episode, Matt Crouch? Unbelievable.
Don't even want to know. Anyway,
DPP mid/shit. Anyway,
we'll keep an eye on Peatling though, because there's a chance if he sneaks the role, we'll be looking at him as a forward option later in the year, hopefully. For sure. The next player on our list, mate, Isaac Rankin. Lock it in. He's going to be a mid forward. Yep. It's the same sort of thing as Jack McRae. It's nice to have, but you're probably just going to keep him in your forward line, aren't you? Mm-hmm. Yep. Nice if you need to swing some players around, but just leave him there. It's just another one. Yep. The Slug. This is interesting. Unlikely to get DPP, but fuck me, he's had a really good start to the year, hasn't he? Yeah, he... I said this. Why is no one talking about the Slug? Jake Saligo. I feel like it's just because of how good Adelaide is playing. I think people. I don't know. I'm expecting a slight drop off of the Slug. I love him. He's phenomenal to watch. But the way him, Dawson, Crouch, even Peatling last week, everyone's scoring real highly in that midfield. Even Rankin as well. I can see a drop off coming. They just can't keep producing this amount of points for too long. Otherwise, we're going to have 4 Adelaide players in our teams. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Levi Ashcroft is the next one, 65% forward. Lock him in. Really nice loop. Not loop option, but swing option, sorry, if you're struggling to field a genuine rookie. Yeah, 100%. It's another one that's just nice to have. If your forward line's anything like mine, you have Ryan Marich at F5 and Davidson F6. This one just doesn't doesn't mean too much to you at the minute, but potentially if he re-sparks that cash gen and can get up to about 400k, which would be phenomenal. Yeah, it'd be nice to have in the forward line before he becomes a stepping stone. If you desperately need it, it's just another one that's cool to have.
For sure. Rory Laird's our next player from the Adelaide Footy Club. There's a few from Adelaide that we're talking about here. Peatling, Rankin, Saligo, and Laird. He will get it in. 99.7% of his time has been spent in the back line. But for me, his days of being a premium defender are over.
Yeah, 100%. He's not taking kick-ins. He got subbed last week for a 58. Maybe that's a sign of things to come, that they just want to save his legs a bit, save his old legs a bit. The old days of Rory Laird with the 134 or whatever average, that's probably done. Yeah. I mean, if he drops, like, I don't know what price I'd consider, but if he keeps dropping to maybe 450, bit lower than that, I could be interested as a D7 swing
D7,
later in the year. Yeah. But as of right now, nah.
Good shout. Ladies and gentlemen, before we kick off into our other players, we've got all the numbers, all the data on every single player that you want to know about DPP and a whole lot more, including averages for and against, not just with players, but certain points on the ground, small forwards, mids, you name it. Deadly's done the research on it. Here's where you'll find it.
Want to take your SuperCoach game to the next level? Inside Fantasy Sports are bringing you exclusive content all year round, such as weekly expert Q&As, team, trade, and captaincy advice, statistical deep dives, priority podcast questions, and tons more. So what are you waiting for? Get full access to the experts. Go to patreon.com/Insight Fantasy Sports and subscribe to Insight Unlimited today.
Good stuff you're doing there, mate. Champ.
Love the American.
Yeah. Nath, just saw you jumped in the chat, mate. Slug's chances, not very good. He would need to play exclusively forward this week in order to get his...
I'll quickly touch on that. The only reason Slug is even on this page for DPP is when Sid Draper was the sub for the first 3 weeks, he would come on, Slug would go to the forward line in the fourth quarter, and Draper would play mid for him, or mid or wing in that sort of area for him. And yeah, it's not going to happen. I can't see Draper even being the sub this week. So yeah, probably not.
No. We got Whisperer's boy next, Jack Silvania, the son of Joe and Sauce. He went back into defense in round 3 to play Aaron Norton, did a really good job, and he stayed there. 73% of his time this season has been played down back, and likely that he will get DPP, but not for Classic.
Yeah. So I famously, as we know, the Whisperer's boy, Jack Silvani, I famously said before the season that if Jack Silvani averages 80 in the first 4 weeks, I'll lick his balls. Jack Silvani averaged 79.
Oh dear.
So that's good. We've avoided some ball licking. Look, he's been good. He's actually, to me, he's been one of Carlton's best players to start this season in a shit side. And the ability, his marking ability, his ability to swing back and forward has been phenomenal for them. Mm-hmm. Classic-wise, nope. Draft-wise, potentially, but I can't see him going over the 70s that he started scoring. Maybe occasional 80 or whatnot spike game, but no, not anymore.
No. Sam Walsh is also on this list, but it's just not happening.
No. He the dream's over. He's not gonna get forward. DPP.
Dream's over for Carlton, not just from DPP, but their premiership chances. Did you know? I've done some digging, and you know how everyone gives Essendon shit about not winning a final for 20 odd years.
Go on, tell me.
Did you know since the year 2000, Essendon have won 4 finals? Did you know Carlton have also only won 4 finals in that time?
And it's going to be a real shame when we win 5 this year and they're still on 4.
Yeah. So for everyone that gives Essendon supporters shit, we haven't had one for 21 years, but might be time we start turning our attention to Carlton, and they've been equally as shit for a prolonged time.
Yeah.
Josh Dacos, he is getting DPP, mate. 97% in defense. Lock him in.
Yeah, 100% you can lock him in. Classic-wise, nah, still not for me. And it's just, annoyingly, it's just due to the fact that Jeremy Howe's the kick-in merchant at Collingwood. And Dan Houston's still there. He's got 2 weeks off. I actually expect Josh Dacos to have a decent few weeks, even though he's got Sydney and Brisbane back-to-back without Houston. But, yeah, no, classic-wise, he's not an option unless he gets kick-ins. It's simple as that.
Yeah. Here's a good one for you. So, yes, he's an Essendon player, but Nick Martin from the Essendon Footy Club. So he is listed as a defender and played 0% of his time in defence so far this year.
Yep.
So as it stands, 55% forward, and 44% mid. He's got a huge chance to be, if he gets forward DPP, he could be top 6 forward by the end of the year.
Yeah, it's another one that 100% if he gets forward DPP, we're looking at, he's slowly dropping cash as well. He's going to be 500k very soon. He might even already be 500k, to be honest.
I think he's 520k.
He's 529 with a 138 break even. Very lovely. Yeah, so obviously you only get 1 DPP. It's whatever percentage is higher. Right now it's forward. It's the same as last week because we had the bye. Where he plays this week, it's another question.
Mm-hmm.
I think he probably goes to his just standard forward role with occasional wing. I reckon he probably gets the forward DPP. You think the same?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Scott really likes his delivery inside forward 50. So I think, yeah, he does stay there.
Yeah.
If we're talking percentages, he is the best kick inside 50 to hit targets. So I think that's got to stay. Now, Zach Merritt.
Only behind this man.
Zach Merritt. This is a real interesting watch this week. Real interesting because the numbers suggest that he's at just under 31% forward so far. If he gets to 35%, we get him. We get him mid-forward DPP.
We get him that week.
Yep. So
in the bank for him if he gets DPP. To me, unlikely. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't. Just with the Caldwell injury and the midfield that we're going to have this weekend is going to be pretty inexperienced. It's literally just going to be him and Durham. We need his clearance work, to be honest, in this midfield, and he's not going to spend enough time forward to get the DPP. He needs probably about 60% forward time to get it, and no, it's just not going to happen.
I've done the numbers. 47% mid-time forward time he'd need this week.
It's not going to happen. He's not going to spend half his time in the forward line. He's going to spend a lot, maybe 20% at best.
Yep. Sam De Koning from the Geelong Footy Club, lock it in. He's going to be a defender ruck. It's still not for me for Classic, though.
Yeah, I don't care. He's a Reid Stanley recall has happened. Probably Stanley stays in now, I'd reckon. Toby Conway still to come back. De Koning's ruck days look over. And if you started with him, he gains you about 7K. And that's about it.
How far off is Conway away from playing again? Or is he playing in the reserves again?
He's not playing the reserves. They've sort of still got him under ice. Like, I think he's near on back, but they're not full on keeping him training yet, just because of how bad his back's actually been. Because it's been a while. Like, he's managed this injury even since the back end of last season, and it's really, really hindering him. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they're sort of just waiting to see.
Here's someone that's sort of propped up into relevancy the last couple of weeks, mate, and it's an ex-Supercoach gun who would have been our number one pick years ago, and that's Patrick Dangerfield. 443K. He has played almost 54% of his time forward after almost playing exclusively as a forward against Melbourne last weekend. Looks likely he's going to get mid-forward DPP.
Yeah, you can probably lock this one in, to be honest. Is he an option? Probably not. Yeah, he had a nice game against Melbourne, but at this stage in the season, it's against Melbourne, and they've been probably one of the worst sides. And yeah, mate, to me, he's not an option, and I don't know about you, but I don't think I'm taking a 35-year-old Patrick Dangerfield, who's basically playing more forward than mid. No,
our man Hurls has put in the chat that we want to see Sard selected on a wing to cement Marto's forward status. Bingo, bango, bongo.
Yep.
Spot on.
Scotty, make it happen.
The next two I'm going to bring up together because it's just not happening. And that's James Sicily and Will Day from the Hawthorn Footy Club. James Sicily, 15% of his time has been played forward, and Will Day's only 13% forward, so we can forget about them, mate.
Yeah, they're not going to get nothing.
No.
Whatever.
Someone that will get DPP, but I see a lot of people trading out this week, is Jack Henderson from the Melbourne Footy Club.
Yeah. He's going to get forward DPP, lock that in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably being forced to hold this week just because I don't really have anyone to trade him to that I like at the price point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping he can have a nice game against Essendon, re-spark his cash gen a bit, but I just don't see him sticking around for too much longer. He's probably killed his own chances, to be honest, at this rate.
Yeah. I think the DPP swing that he'll have may help us to get us through to the bye.
Yeah. Whether he becomes, I don't know, you probably can't have a player like that be a loop, but yeah, as long as he keeps his spot this week, he can probably go next week as long as he scores more than his 29 break even.
Yeah. For those that started with Harry Sharp, he will get forward DPP. Almost 85% of his game time has been played up forward. Someone that is relevant, though, he had a bit of a shitter last week, but Sam Davidson from the Western Bulldogs Footy Club, 92% mid he's played, so he will get mid-forward DPP. Love to see it. Yeah,
it's really nice. He wasn't too bad. It's sort of the free freeze against, and he was a bit inefficient with the ball in hand. But he's been real nice for us, and we'll just keep holding until he's fattened all the way up. He's still got a negative 32 break even.
Mm-hmm.
Keep kicking, boy.
One of your boys that flunked last week, but what was fucking Ken Hinkley thinking, putting Jace Burgoyne or taking him away from the role that he'd scored and played so well from the first couple of weeks? He replaced Jace Burgoyne in the back line with Lockie Jones.
Lockie Cones-Jones.
Unreal.
Yeah, it sucks. It really sucks. I was really, really high on Jace, and can't believe Ken did me like that. I don't even know if he's going to get DPP anymore. He's at 42.2%, but you'd think he's probably not going to play any defense this week. So it's probably unlikely now. It's dropped off a whole lot.
Yep, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Bailey Humphrey. So he was a popular trade-in target last week. And for those that traded him in last week, I suggest that don't be frustrated with his score last week because he's got the likes of, is it North, Melbourne and Richmond coming up?
Yeah, he's got North this week and Richmond next week. There's improvement to be had.
Yeah. So you're holding on to him if you bought him in, but DPP probably more unlikely than likely, still at 30% midfield time. He probably needs to spend 45% time in the midfield this week to get that DPP.
Yeah, it's unlikely to happen. That would take his CBAs all the way up to the 60, which it's instead of the 30 that's been sitting at.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, it's not going to happen. And it's probably the same with the next man, Touk Miller, who's he went back to the midfield last week. And
Cheesy's been good though, hasn't he?
Yeah, it would have been so nice to get him forward DPP. But sort of him and Humphrey cut into each other a little bit when it comes to DPP wise. They gave each other a bit. Now they're taking it off each other a bit with their swing backs to their old roles. But it's not going to happen for either of them, I don't think.
Touk Miller is averaging 121 to start the year, having a ripper season. Next player on our list, Sammy Draper from the Essendon Footy Club. So due to the injuries that have happened at Essendon, he's had to play a lot more time forward, which in turn, you can lock him in for a ruck forward DPP, Deadly.
Yeah, it's nice to have. Probably draft only, realistically. You're not looking at Sam Draper as a forward in Classic at all.
I'll give you a scenario as to when we would look at him. And that's when we get the likes of Langford back. If Wright comes back, our forward line is injury-free, which then allows him to play exclusively ruck and then sometimes resting forward. The Nick Bryan thing is working okay, but at the moment he's had to play a lot more forward because he is a better forward than Nick Bryan, and that's purely out of necessity. But I think once injuries start leveling out and Essendon get a few players back, that could be a nice little DPP as a even an F7.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love for his price to drop first. I'm not taking Sam Draper at 409k that he currently is. So yeah, unless it drops all the way down to like a 300 or something like that, I'm not even looking at him.
Sid Draper's the next one, 35%, right on the dot forward for DPP here. It's really going to come down to this weekend, and whichever, I guess, section of the ground he plays more in is the decision as to whether he gets it or not.
Yeah, I mean, had a full game in the guts last week, which completely killed all of his chances of locking it in.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a break even of 9. If you started with him, I don't know if many people would, just because of he's been the sub 3 weeks in a row and finally gets a full game this week, and even then he's only played very limited game time.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just nah.
Spot on. The remainder of the plays that we're going to bring to you are brought to you by the Standard Squeeze, helping you drink responsibly and conveniently. You can go to the online store, and input the code IFS 2025 to get yourself 15% off everything in store. Connor Stone's the next one. You can lock him in, defender forward.
Yep, and I know some of the boys in the WhatsApp do have Connor Stone, including our man Hurls, who's I don't know if Hurls is hoping he plays this week or not, but I know a few of them are hoping he drops out of the team and he can be the forward defender swing for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can lock it in if you got him. You probably hold for now, maybe. I don't even know what your plan is with him. Just I haven't really thought too much into it because I didn't start with him. But yeah, it's not one you're definitely bringing in. I'll tell you that much.
No. Colby McCurch is the next one, 62% mid. So he will be a midfielder forward.
Yep.
Or will it be a midfielder defender?
Mid defender. Mid defender.
Yep. Sorry, my apologies. Not someone we're going to.
He's
role's too inconsistent. Yeah. Anthony Caminiti from the St Kilda Footy Club. Lock him in, 83% down back. Looks as though he's taken Josh Battle's spot down back and playing well, but maybe for draft, but not for classic.
Yeah, playing well, but the role just doesn't have too much of a scoring upside. He's had a 34 break even. He's since he's fully moved back, he's gone 78, 95, 75, which is it's good stuff for him and his career, but classic wise, no.
Yeah. Joel Hamling still needs to play this weekend in order to get DPP, but he will get it. Forward defender if he plays. My question here is, I'm not sure if he plays.
I doubt it. I can't see a world where they change anything in that Sydney back line, and yeah, there's no world where he plays realistically.
No. The last player that we're going to bring up in this list, mate, before we get to some questions, comments, doubtful points, whatever it might be in the chat, is Murphy Reid from Big Bruce from the Fremantle Footy Club. He had a bit of a quiet preseason, didn't he? But holy heck, kick 4 against Geelong in the space of no time. But something that's really impressed me is his delivery inside forward 50.
Yeah, I mean, he's a phenomenal footy player. His kick by foot, which was one of his best aspects as like coming into the draft, that was the main thing in his draft profile.
Mm-hmm.
It's upper echelon, and once this kid starts getting some mid time, it's going to be a trouble for the league with him, Sarong, Young, Brayshaw, and the like. I'm worried, but yeah, it's the same sort of thing as Levi Ashcroft. If you got him, you're happy that he's getting forward DPP, but it's nothing too. It's just another thing that's cool.
Yeah, spot on, mate. Sorry, just going through the question and marking them as we go. Ladies and gentlemen, there are 40 players. Who would you say would be the most relevant with this batch of DPPs that we've got incoming, mate? Would you say top 3 would be Chad Warner if he gets it?
Chad Warner,
Sheasel,
Petrarca,
and Nick Martin?
I'd throw Petrarca in there over Sheasel. Yeah, most of them are just cool that they're getting it, like a McRae or a Rankin, but you're keeping them in their spots. But a Warner, a Track, Nick Martin, these are guys that are getting full, complete changes, and yeah, we're gonna be happy to have them
for sure, mate. Let's get into some questions.
It's question time. Let's answer your questions for the week ahead.
Apparently, O'Driscoll has a ankle injury.
Really?
I
Wow.
We discuss it now because it is a bit of a talking point in the Supercoach world that you've got.
Yeah, by the way, got an update from all of about 5 minutes ago. Nathan O'Driscoll will not play this week.
He will not.
Nathan O'Driscoll will not play this week via Ryan Daniels.
Okay. What's the extent of the ankle injury?
They're still working through it, but he's expected to miss multiple weeks.
Oof. Does that now make him a trade out?
I am most likely going to look to trade him out personally.
Oh, this changes things, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. 5 minutes ago, Nathan O'Driscoll missed this week's clash with Richmond at Freo Dockers, still working through the extent of the ankle injury, but is expected to miss multiple weeks.
Okay. Nice little update there, Deadly.
I'm going to look to trade him pretty much as soon as this pod's done.
Jeez, I should have done this.
It's time for some news from around the league.
Well, you didn't have to do it now.
No, I fucked up. Footy on a Tuesday. Love it.
Love talking.
Two good looking chooks. Absolutely.
Oh, it's coming from the best looking chook. Love
Junkie. Heard Deadly's getting DPP to Ford. Blech.
Mate, I am what they call in the industry a Mason Wood type. Play exclusively on the wing, and then I go forward and I absolutely kick West Coast ass just because I feel like it.
Wow.
Yep.
There's no I in team, but there's me. That's what Deadly's saying right now.
Precisely. There is me.
Angeline. Hey, mate. How good is it while I'm working away in the home office, Legends? Absolutely. This is what we're trying to bring to the good people at home. Some good quality Supercoach content to help get you through your day.
Yeah.
What do we got? Matty Granger. Who's the best athlete to come out of Bendigo, and why is it Dyson Daniels?
It is Dyson Daniels. I won't argue that. He's, in my eyes, he's the only good athlete to come out of Bendigo. You can fight me.
Joel Selwood said hello.
James Hurd's better. Ainsley represent.
You don't even live in Ainsley.
I've been there though.
I've been to Melbourne. Fucking hell.
No. I was going to play for Ainsley this year if I stayed down in Canberra.
Really?
Fun fact.
Yeah, right.
But I didn't eventuate staying down in Canberra.
Is Chad? I think he's talking to you. Chad a trade in round 8, champ?
Didn't we just hold on? Give me 2 seconds here. When's his good run? It's
late in the year.
It's maybe even round 7. It just a lot of these guys. It's always the same case. It's when they're going to bottom out. If the timing's right, get them in.
Yeah.
Like I had a message from a good mate, Stupid Sexy Flanders, yesterday talking about LGU as a pod option, and I said, if the timing's right and you have no one else like a Dacos who's bottomed out the same week, you can do it. It's all a timing thing. We can't really lock in anything for a couple of weeks because a lot can change in footy in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Morning to the Dead Horse. Absolutely, Higo. Nice to see you, mate. Duggan is a spud anyway from our man CWT.
True.
Legend.
He's been pretty poor. Do you see the clip that they had on? I think it might have been the roast the other day, where the very first goal, Darcy Jones just sprints by him. He sat there jogging. He doesn't even make it to the 50 before Darcy Jones kicks his goal inside the goal square. The
only roast I know is a lamb roast on a Sunday night, mate.
Shock.
Shock me. Is there a chance to DPP? Yes. Is it likely? No.
No.
Here you go. Non-Sheezel here, thinking he's bottoming him out now. Bring him in. Yeah, I think now's the time.
Yep. If you haven't got him and you have, if you can't get it, I still think Whitfield is the better trade in, just because I can't see him getting much cheaper for a while now, to be honest. But if you can't afford him and you need the extra 30K, Sheezel's the guy.
The Cheese Man. 100%. Silvani ruined everything. Hope he's happy.
Yep.
He did. Is Finn Callahan a trade out from our man Fox?
G'day, Foxy. Yes, I would say Finn Callahan to trade out. I'm trading him out personally. I don't know about you. I think you're holding.
I am for now. Yeah.
I think Hurls is.
I'm hoping
Hurls
he just
is
gets
on a
his
hold
100
side
this
too.
week. If he gets his 100, doesn't drop any cash, then I have, Tom Stewart is my to go to from Callahan next week. And then, I've got a bit of a plan as to which way I'm going to go the next 4 weeks.
Hurls, I think it's looking. Not Hurls. Horse, I think it's looking a bit windy.
Why's that?
It's looking a bit windy outside. Because Marcus Windhager's is going to tag him. It's just looking windy.
I apologise in advance for the shit jokes that come out of Deadly's mouth, ladies and gentlemen.
I come to expect this by now. I'm a dead at heart.
Trade O'Driscoll or trade Frazier?
Frazier first. Still, he's done. Complete role change. You can hold O'Driscoll this week if you want, just until we get further updates.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple weeks isn't good. He's not a priority because Fridge is going to play and just going to lose money, and he's more expensive. As simple as that. You take his money first.
Best athlete to come out of Bendigo's the horse. He knows it.
Nope.
How do I mute you before you can answer anything? Janko, is Petrarca worth a trade in the Fords? I think we wait because this week he may even play 80% mid and wreck it.
Yeah, I mean, wait and see. I think in a couple of weeks when he's bottomed out, I'll be on there. But it won't be for a little bit.
Yep. Our man Janko's encouraging you to have a few gins, mate. So
I've got work soon. I can't.
Don't you work at a bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, help yourself.
Can't deal with drunk customers while being drunk.
Can't you?
No, it's just not how it works.
You got to be at their level, mate. Ange has gone Noddy and Nevitt to Marich and Bias as she missed them last week. Any news on Lindsay and Zardes? Lindsay, he'll be a test, and Zardes should be good to go.
Lindsay's a test, leaning more likely than unlikely to play. Also, Corey Blackledge before said praying that O'Driscoll plays. We got word now that he will miss this week and potentially multiple weeks as well.
Hurls is now trading Callahan now that Noddy's cooked.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm going to have to revisit my trades as well because originally, like our man B James down the bottom, I was trading Rosie, but now I might not. I think I might have to reassess and go a Callahan Noddy trade out scenario into the two players that I want.
I have just traded out Nathan O'Driscoll as you were speaking just then. Caleb Sorong has come into my team.
Is Will Day a trading target with the upcoming fixture?
Don't love it. I don't think he's... Where is he now? What's he priced at? Let's have a look. He's 483k with a 111 break even. Has Port, Geelong, West Coast in the next 3, and then Richmond. The Hawthorn draw is very nice over the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, for 5 weeks even with Melbourne in round 9 for midfielders. I might even look at a Hawthorn midfielder then. But Will Day's probably not the one for me. I can see a couple tags flying his way even in that Geelong game.
Yeah, okay. We got anything else here? Well, would you trade Rosie? He's got a monster break even.
It's a fucking shit spot to be in if you have him, Callahan, and O'Driscoll. Mm-hmm. And I'm glad I'm not in it, and you two are, so suck shit, nerds.
Whoa.
Nah, probably would.
Flog.
I think he's got to go very soon. A 166 break even, it's not good, is it? And doesn't perform well against Hawthorn. Hawthorn are a good restrictive midfield nowadays, and there's a Jordan tag that could potentially come to him. It could go to Butters. I reckon it'll probably go to Butters, but there's still a potential it'll go to him next week, and I think he's got to go.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, and that's all we've got, mate. For those of you that decide to join us today, thank you very much. We'll endeavour to bring you some content during the week, each week, to help you get through your working day, whether it is that you're working from home, working at the office, or whether you just don't like working at all and just want to listen to some good quality banter and some footy knowledge thrown in there. Deadly, where can the people at home find you, mate, if they'd like to chew the fat with you?
Right there. I don't know how many people would actually want to chew the fat with me. I'd probably chew your ear off. Yeah, I'm on X there. I've got plenty of time spent on the WhatsApp. Sorry, I'm just analyzing my team, making sure it's fine. I'll do that later. Yeah, it's probably if you want to find me, I'll be here hopefully tomorrow, as long as I don't get the sack.
I'll be here.
I'll be here as long as I don't get the sack.
I want to answer this because CWT is coming top 100 at the moment. And a very well-known member of our Patreon, Jackson, Rosie, and Nod into Gorn, Sheasel, and Bice. Would you guys do it? Yes.
Yep, I like that a lot.
Yep.
A lot.
Why? Jackson's hurt, Nod's hurt, Rosie monster break even. You bring in Gorn, who looked like he was getting back to somewhere near his best last week. Sheasel, because this is as cheap as he's ever going to get. And Bice, because he's going to make you $1 million.
Gorn, the only one I don't love is Gorn.
Who would you bring in instead of Gorn?
That's the question. It's just because Gorn still has money to lose. And he probably has to, just because.
Would you go pod play and bring in Marshall?
I consider Meek. Meek could probably be one that I consider.
He's got a nice run coming up.
But Gorn, I don't love, just because Essendon's rucks are restrictive. He's still got money to burn. I don't know. I can see the play for it. He's a season long hold. I think I'd probably wait a week or two if it was me.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do us. Deadly, thanks for joining us. As much shit as we give you, you are a well-respected member of our community, and we love what you bring to us. So thank you. And for today, I'm going to continue talking because I don't want to hear from you anymore. On the horse, this is Deadly. We'll catch you tomorrow night where we bring you our round 5 preview, who to hold, who to trade in, who not to, and a heap of other good quality footy content. We'll catch you then.
Flag Dons.